On this episode of Where's the Line, me and Joseph bring back the Love Corner. We talk about religion, relationship advice, church, a little bit about basketball at the beginning. This is episode number 116. Let's get into it.
You are now listening to the Where's the Line podcast with Joseph West and Britt Dillard. Enjoy the show.
Milton gonna take a shot wide open and just strutting in is Keaton. Joe Milton does it again.
Orgy again on a blitz. Levis pocket collapses. He's on the run. He just heaves it up. And it's intercepted by Vanderbilt. And let the celebration begin. The streak is over at 26. The Commodores win it.
Talk about Vanderbilt football.
Deep right, and Tennessee walks it off. Pandemonium in Knoxville. Center field, DeMarco. There to make the catch. Anchored down. Vanderbilt on top of the college baseball world again.
That's all I gotta say. And you're going to hell. Bye.
Another edition of Where's the Line. It is Wednesday, February 7th, episode number 116. My name is Britt Dillard, joined here by my good buddy Joseph West. How are you today, brother?
I'm good, Britt. My good friend Britt Dillard. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Go.
I'm never the kind of guy to talk about the weather because that's kind of an easy conversation to have.
That's a boomer thing.
But the weather this week has just been so perfect. It's my birth week, so it's a great week.
It is Mr. Britt and Dillard's birth week. It also is it was a absolutely stunning day outside. High of 69 degrees, little to no wind, perfect weather. Would have loved to have been out on a golf course. I rode around with the windows down and my sunglasses on during my lunch break. I didn't even eat. I literally just drove around for an hour. All I wanted to do was drive around with the windows down. Had on some Maverick City, jamming out.
Sunglasses are so underrated. People don't
They
talk
really
about
are.
sunglasses.
No. Okay, here's my thing. Britt, I got to ask you a quick question. Totally off topic here. This was not planned. So, obviously, we know I wear glasses to see, right? So, when I'm driving around, like making deliveries for work, I put my sunglasses on, especially if it's sunny like it is today, right? Well, I'm not going to go every establishment I go into, I'm not going to take my sunglasses off and put these on. So, I just go inside with my sunglasses on. Now, normally I would say if you go inside with your sunglasses on, that's whack. Like you're dumb. You should take your sunglasses off. But I literally cannot see without my sunglasses on. Assuming, like I said, I'm not changing pairs of glasses every time I walk in a building. So my question is it acceptable for me to wear sunglasses inside because I need them to see, yes or no? I need to know.
Yeah, I think it's acceptable. What you need to get is those lenses that flip down, the sunglasses that flip down. But because you can't
wear those.
Because I hate to say this, but I'm anti-transition lenses. Like you can't wear transition lenses. You see what I'm saying?
I did not see that coming. Yeah.
But no,
I don't
I
like
thought
transition
about
lenses either. For the
I
record,
thought about getting the flip glasses, but I didn't.
no, they're nerdy. I don't like the clip-ons either. I think they just look a little tacky. I
They
love
are
my
nerdy.
sunglasses.
They're absolutely nerdy.
I just love my sunglasses though.
But we are in the thick of SEC basketball. Not much to talk about on my end. I don't know if you'll have much to talk about on your end either. But Tennessee just beat LSU about 30-ish minutes ago. Tennessee's on a roll. and they're having guys step up that have kind of struggled throughout the middle of the season here, like Josiah James and Zakai Ziegler and Justin Gainey are three guys that have really stepped up. Dalton Connect is really good, but I think he just elevates the guys around him, and they're learning how to play together a lot better. But they've got the fourth best odds right now to win the whole thing, the 12-1. So, basketball. That's it. That's literally all I have.
Vanderbilt won their first SEC game against Missouri last week. Literally, who cares? This game was literally not about Vanderbilt at all. We still shot less than 30% from three. They still sucked. Missouri just is that bad. Missouri sucks at basketball. Like, they are so bad at basketball. And so, yeah, they're poverty right now in basketball.
Yeah.
Once again, it's pretty sad. 12 years, just over a decade, 11 years ago, I think, the Missouri Tigers were ranked number 1 in the nation. I'm pretty sure it was 2013. They were ranked number 1 in the nation in basketball. That was a good basketball program.
Yeah, they were pesky last year. Like, they were a decent team last year.
It is sad to see what has happened to Missouri and Vandy in basketball. They both suck. Missouri's really bad. We did win. And then last night, Jerry Stackhouse, man, he's such a great coach. I'm really proud of him. We only lost to Kentucky. It was like 115-7. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. It was like 115. Let me get the final score instead of making jokes.
I think they had 109.
The final score, yes, the final score of the Vanderbilt men's basketball team versus the Kentucky Wildcats men's basketball team was 109 Kentucky to Vandy 77. Yeah, we got drilled. Man, there's nothing to say about basketball. I did send my girl Kenneth Story Lee a little message today about my boy Jerry Stackhouse. Not my boy, actually my arch nemesis Jerry Stackhouse. So maybe it'll mean something.
I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about this after Tennessee dominated Kentucky in Rupp Arena. Is there an SEC matchup that is more lopsided in every sport than Tennessee over Kentucky? In every sport. Because I was trying to go through and think, I don't know if there's another team that gets dominated by a singular team the way Kentucky does to Tennessee. I mean, it's in every sport.
Used to not be in basketball, but outside of that, I'll give it to you.
I mean, since Rick Barnes, the last 6 or 7 years it has been in basketball. I mean, Rick Barnes is like 8-1 against Kentucky when they're both in the top 10.
Okay. I didn't know that stat.
Football, I mean, they beat us twice in 40 years in football. In baseball, they can't beat us. I'm so excited about baseball.
Baseball is so awesome. We're 8 days away.
I'm really getting excited about baseball.
We are 8 days away from baseball. That is magical that we are 8 days away from baseball. Like, are you kidding? I can't wait. Vanderbilt's pitching staff is going to be electric. Like, absolutely electric. Vanderbilt's pitching staff is going to be so much fun to watch. I can't wait, honestly.
Yeah, we need to go to a game in Nashville, Tennessee.
100%. We 100% will be at some games this year. I know I will be at multiple games.
But we're being disrespectful. We lost a legend this week. Toby Keith died. He's no longer alive.
I don't know if I've ever did you post Toby Keith's death?
That's what I want to get into.
How do we feel about that? Was you actually going to talk about that?
Yes. That's what I want to get into. Because we live in such a culture of look at me. Look at me. And there's a difference. Like, I realize some people on Instagram, you know how you can put somebody's post on your story?
Yeah.
I saw some people doing that. Okay, that's fine. But whenever you're posting a video, look at me. I'm listening to Kobe Keith. Rest in peace, cowboy. Go drink a beer with Jesus. I'm like, are you joking? Like, how have you made the death of Toby Keith about you?
That's crazy. It's crazy. It literally is crazy. Not that I'm even surprised, but also another thing about Toby Keith is that like I knew a few people who like I got in their car and they turned on Toby Keith. It's like 2 people that I know total. So don't be being like, man, Toby's gonna be different listening to your music now. You didn't even listen to him, you idiot.
Yeah.
Man, like that would be like I posted like Tate McRae. Like, man, it's gonna be different listening to her music. I don't listen to her music. The picture of Olivia Rodrigo was like, man, it's gonna be different listening to her music. I don't listen to her music.
I like her.
I think they're both fine, attractive women.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't listen to their music. So, and like, don't get me wrong, as a Christ follower, I 100% care when someone dies. I hope they know their Lord Jesus. I hope they know where they're going. But like, I'm not gonna just like put up a front on social media about some person that I didn't know. The only like celebrity I've ever posted about dying was Kobe. Just because I love Kobe. As a kid, I just absolutely thought he was amazing.
Yeah, and that was just tragic. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people feel like they need to make, like Toby Keith, that I need to make a statement. Like I need to release what I feel about it.
You're not an influencer.
Toby Keith has got some bangers too. Like if you go through and look, he's got a lot more than we give him credit for.
Should have been a cowboy.
Yeah, and Grace was like, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. She was like, that's the best patriotic song. And I was like, and then I was like, no, it is. It probably is.
No.
I was like, is it God Bless the USA, Lee Greenwood?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It's God
It's
Bless
between
the USA,
those
Lee
two.
Greenwood, in my opinion.
It's between those two. I've heard that live.
There's nothing that I feel more patriotic than when I'm listening to God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood, or now this isn't even like it's not even what we're singing about, but it's fun. It just makes me feel patriotic as Fortunate Son.
Oh, yeah. No, I see that.
That song just gets me fired up. I would take that over courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue as well. Black
Ops 1 campaign. Fortunate Son.
Right.
But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That was something that I wanted to talk about. I went to see Theo Vaughn Sunday night.
Let's go. How was that?
See Theo Vaughn. He was really good. He was very good.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I've never been to a show like that, and I really enjoyed it. It was cool.
I wanted to go see Shane Gillis because he was coming to town.
Oh yeah.
On April 20th. I thought that would be funny, but also though I will say something that ruins comics for me a lot, especially in person, is man, if they don't know any other words besides the F-bomb and GD, which a lot of them use both of a lot, it just like I'm not gonna make it through the comedic bit. I'm just not.
Yeah. I saw Shane Gillis is really funny. I saw a bit that he did, and he was talking about like every army, if you make them gay, like they're scarier. Imagine if you were alive during the Viking times and you see a ship coming, like you're standing on the beach and you're like, holy crap, that like they're coming, like they're gonna rape our wives and our daughters, and like we've got to do something. And then you just see a rainbow flag go up. You're like, holy crap, it's over.
There's no way this podcast this far in, like 5 minutes, makes it up on Spotify longer than 24 hours.
What?
Britt is pushing the boundaries of. Britt is asking the question of where is the line.
Yeah, I'm not trying.
I respect it. No, I don't think you are either. Let me say
we used to have free speech in this country. That's something we used to have.
We did used to have that. Now, if you say something crazy, it's over for you.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I completely let it slip my mind, so that's terrible for us. I was trying to think. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to talk about. Britt, how much money can you spend on a game? Like whether it's a game on PlayStation, a game on your phone. For example, I've dropped some racks on Golf Clash in the past. I've spent some money on Clash of Clans. I've spent some money on Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not afraid to admit where I've spent some money. How much money are you like, okay, bro, you're done? Like, what's the limit? Like, where's the line at? Where are you drawing the line for you personally? You're saying, okay, Britt, you've spent $50 on Rainbow Six Siege. That's enough. Or you've spent $100. That's enough.
Yeah.
No more.
I mean, I've been playing Clash of Clans a lot lately. I've been buying some gems. See, I'm not trying to wait. I'm trying to, because in middle school and high school, I'm trying to upgrade my town hall. I'm trying to get my
What town hall
army
are you?
bigger. But I'm town hall 10. I've just now got back into
Me
the
too.
game from a 6-year hiatus.
Okay,
So,
I don't know
yeah.
what I don't know what this is about, but like 2 weeks ago, some of my other friends got on Clash of Clans and was like, "Hey man, download Clash of Clans again and join me." And I
Mhm.
joined their clan. We've been in clan wars for like the past week and a half.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I just want to know what has been going on to make all of us all of a sudden just want to get on Clash of Clans.
I don't know, but the
What's
same
happening?
thing happened. But I mean, I've bought some $20 packs of gems, and then what they kill you with is there's like packages, like you get this much elixir, and you get like a resource potion, and you get a book
then
of
1,500
everything,
gems.
and it's
and you get
like
1,500
it's like
gems.
$5 or $10. I'm like, I have to
Like, how do
buy
I
it.
not do that?
And I mean, for $100, you can get 14,000 gems. I'm like, holy crap! I could do some damage. Like I could do some real good.
With 14K gems? Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
But I think 20 is the line I'll spend. But the thing is, that's it. I don't know. The next day, I'm like, I need more gems. Like I need to buy more. But I mean, like
I
back,
spent $30 on Clash the other night. No cap.
yeah, but like way back in the day, Advanced Warfare. Oh my gosh, I spent hundreds. I might
Are
have
you
spent
kidding me?
1,000. Oh, I spent hundreds of dollars on that game because
Are you
that was
actually kidding me?
that was the first Call of
Advanced
Duty.
Warfare?
Yeah, that was the first Call of Duty where you could buy like supply drops with weapons and stuff in them.
Is probably the worst Call of Duty of all time, in my opinion. I absolutely despise that game.
I mean, I can see why you would say that, but I was really good at it. That's why I liked it. Like I was insane. I was so good at it.
That makes sense.
But yeah,
That's why I like Rainbow Six Siege, because I'm good at it.
and if
In
there's
my squad,
any game to be good at, Rainbow Six is a really good game to be good at.
I
'Cause it's
agree.
fun.
And I will say this, just because I don't know if any of them listen or if they don't, but just in case they do, if you play Rainbow Six Siege on Xbox with Mr. Britt Dillard, aka OMG is Britt D, my squad on PlayStation would actually wipe you in Rainbow Six, and I just want that to be known on this podcast.
Because one of these days you're gonna have to put your money where your mouth is.
I'll bet on it. I'm not scared. I have full faith in my squad. Matter of
Because
fact,
y'all don't touch grass.
no, I'll tell you this right now. Oh, first of all, that's crazy. First of all, that's great. Second of all, I'll tell you this. I would normally not let this man in my squad, but I'm even taking Mason Ward in my squad. Like, I'm taking Mason because he's the worst Rainbow Six player I know, but yet he will absolutely dog whoever's on Xbox. Because Xbox players, poverty.
There's literally no difference. There's
Trust.
no different.
Trust.
You know who plays on Xbox?
Jinxie. I know what
The
you're going to
best
say.
Siege player. The guy that
Jinxie's
all
so
y'all look.
washed.
The guy that you guys try to be is an Xbox player.
Jinxie's so washed. Jinxie's so washed, though. I'm more of a Tuesday type of guy.
No, I hate him.
Shout out
I
Jordan.
can't stand him.
Shout out Jordan Craighead. That was for you. Me and
can't
me and Jordan Craighead laugh at a lot of his videos together. So don't be hating.
Speaking of hating, I
Yeah.
have something that I want to bring to the table, and
This cannot be good.
I'm just gonna say it. Zach Bryan is terrible, and I don't know your opinion. So this is not me like trying to rile you up. I don't know how you feel about him.
Okay. Like as a human or as an artist, that matters.
His music.
Oh, I think his music's gas. He has some songs that are like top tier bangers. Like to me, Tourniquet on his new album was a banger. Like, I could listen to that song every day. Haven't listened to it in a while, but I could. Hey Driver. Now, he doesn't really make the song good. War and Treaty makes that song. Don't get me wrong. But it's still a Zach Bryan song. You got to give him credit. So,
I just don't think
Hey
he's
Driver,
talented.
banger. Does he not write his own music?
Oh, I don't know. He might do that.
I'm pretty sure he does.
But like, I was listening to the lyrics of, I don't even remember what the song is. What's his? I remember everything. I was listening to the lyrics. I was like, what is this man talking about? Do I remind you of your daddy in his truck with a dog in the back? Do I remind you of the Rizzler when I'm
my.
I'm like, what are we talking
Okay.
about?
Also, I will say this. I have not listened to any other, like, I've listened to, like, a few John Party songs in the past few weeks. Everybody knows. Been really trying to dial in on Christ. So I've been listening to a lot of Christian music. I've really, like, 99.9% of my listens are Christian right now. I've listened to, like I said, 5 or 6 John Party songs. But in 2 days, and at midnight, no, I'm sorry, the 9th, Friday, Kanye West drops Vultures Volume 1.
Oh,
And I will be tuning in. That is the GOAT. That is the GOAT. Debate someone else, not me. He doesn't get weird leaks like Mr. Drake does. I know some of you listeners out there would consider Drake the GOAT. No, not anymore, buddy. Not ever, actually. Kanye writes his own stuff, produces his own stuff, makes his own beats. He's him, okay? Kanye drops a new album on Friday. Go listen. Simple. He samples the Backstreet Boys and what's going to be the number 1 song. Everybody by Kanye West is going to go number 1 within 24 hours. That's how good it's going to be. Calling it right now.
till Taylor
And if it's
Swift's
not that
album
good,
comes
I'm
out.
sorry. You know what he said, don't you? He made her famous. You know what he said. He made her famous. I mean, Kanye West, he said it best. He made her famous. Kanye let him know.
Yeah, the Taylor
Swifties
Swift
get
Bowl
mad.
is Sunday.
Don't say that, bro. The white dads will get mad. They only care about football, remember? Talked about this last week.
Yeah. No, there was. I mean, when this
yeah.
podcast started, I did not like Kanye West.
That is very true. You did not. You hated him. You
did
didn't
not.
hate him, but you hated on him.
I hated on
I
him
should
because
say.
one of my character flaws is like, if something makes somebody happy, like I'm just gonna crap on it. Like Zach Bryan.
Yeah. This man right here showed me the Kid Leroy, and I really didn't like him. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn to like the Kid Leroy because my good friend Britt Diller likes to listen to him. And I like riding around. You know, me and Britt, we'll take trips to Knoxville. We went to Michigan together, drove there. It's a long time in the car. I was like, listen, me and this man, we make trips. I got to be able to like his music because I'm going to make him listen to some of mine. So I got to be cool when I listen to some of his. And I just got in Kid Leroy and Juice WRLD's bag for like 6 months. And I just turned on one Kanye song in his car. He just goes, bro, turn that off. Man, just hating on me for no reason. After I invested all this time trying to like these 2 artists that Britt Dillard liked. I just turned on one Kanye West song. He just goes, no, bro, no.
That's called being selfish.
Doo-doo-doo. Welcome back to
The Love Corner.
the
TLC.
Love Corner. It is February. It is Black History Month. Shout out to all the legendary Black people throughout time.
Shout out to all the black people.
Shout out to all the no. To actually,
no?
Shout out to all the Black people
Okay.
as well. No, not what I meant. Shout out to all the Black people as well. But it is Black History Month. It is also the month of love, as Valentine's Day is in 7 short days. Remember to take care of your significant other on that day, or if you're a male, the female will probably kill you if you forget. So make sure you do that. Love Corner is back. Britt, we have a question. We have had 2. I've had 2 questions submitted to me over the past 2 weeks, bringing the Love Corner back. So we're bringing it back. First question was this: Britt Dillard, known relationship. I don't know. He's only ever had one girlfriend. I don't know. Can we trust your opinion?
Maybe.
I've really only ever had one girlfriend too, so it's fine. If you really can't trust either one of our opinions, it's fine. Anyway, it's not the point. Here's the question.
Okay, let's do it.
Britt, You and your significant other go to two separate church denominations. So, assuming here you're Christian, which you are, not assuming, whoops, but assuming in this hypothetical situation that you're Christian, and let's just say these are very too specific. We'll use them. Baptist and Church of Christ. One of the significant others is Church of Christ, and asked them. That's the male. The male Church of Christ asked the female Baptist if to come to church with him at this Church of Christ. She went, and then she asked him the following Sunday to come to church with her. Well, not hating on Church of Christ. Any Church of Christ listeners out there, I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in heaven. I know y'all don't think me and Britt are gonna be there because we're non-denominational, but that's okay. I'm gonna see y'all there, and I'm gonna give y'all a big hug when I see y'all. I'm gonna be happy you're there. But not the point. The Church of Christ, if you're old Church of Christ, if you're like a New Age Church of Christ, you probably don't agree with this. Not grouping all of them, but some of them don't believe that you should use instruments in the church. Most of them don't believe that, and then some of them believe that if you do, you are going to go to hell. So most time they will only go to Church of Christ. Okay, so if basically point is that girl asked Guy to come to the Baptist church and he said no after she had went to his church. I don't think that's like really like I understand why he said no, right? Like I get it. I don't agree with it what he thinks, but I get it.
Mm.
So my thing is that what's the answer here, Britt? That's my question. Just what's the answer?
First of
If
all,
if you need any extra details, I can feed them.
first of all, I don't know much about what each denomination believes.
Me and Britt gonna have to have a class.
Because if you're being like whatever church you grow up in, like if you grow up and your family goes to a Baptist church, you're probably going to go to a Baptist church your whole life, or Church of Christ. Like a lot of people go to the same church their whole life, and I don't, and I think you would agree with me here. It should be religion. It should be. I'm trying to think. It should be you're choosing to follow Jesus, not a denomination or not a specific church.
Even religion within itself is not necessarily a good thing. Like it can be very bad rather quickly. Like in churches in general. And when I say that, don't think when I'm saying religion, I'm talking about being a Christian because that's not religion, aka you can relate it really closely to legalism. Meaning, like I have to do something when you're too close to legalism, you're in a really bad spot. Which basically just means like one thing that like once again, not all, but some Church of Christ believe is that like if I was to tell a lie to Britt right now on this podcast, and then I didn't repent when I got off this podcast, and I got in my car to drive to the store, to the gas station, and I got in a wreck and died, that I would die and go to hell because I didn't repent in between the time that I lied to Britt and died. Right?
Mm.
I do not think that's true. My God is much more graceful and forgiving than that. So he knows we're flesh, we're going to mess up, right? So you can't die on the side of legalism, which is what some churches tend to do. And then a lot of times people will point towards the Church of Christ and say they lean heavily on legalism. So that was like, I do agree with you. I just wanted to make sure that picture was painted. Like what like we mean when we say religion.
Yeah, and it's like we look too much, we're worried too much about the specifics of what is, like, is this a sin? Is drinking a sin? Is cussing, is whatever. Like, we're so concerned with what things are sinful so that we can judge people that do those things. Like, and I'm not trying to hate.
Although we should be concerned with sin.
Yeah, for sure. But
Okay.
For the right reasons. And I'm genuinely not trying to dog anybody because, like, if somebody's Church of Christ and you think that you can't have instruments, like, I'm not going to change your mind. Like, and I don't care. I don't want to change your mind. But to think that is what God is worried about, how we worship Him, like that's not the point. That's not the point.
You're missing the whole point.
Kind of getting off topic, but and this is something that I'm trying to learn, but in any relationship, like if these people dating?
These people are dating.
Like, you got to go to the same church. If you get married, you need to go to church together. Because then you have
Agreed.
kids. Where are they going to go to church?
Agreed.
I think you need to be united as one, and it's just like anything in a marriage. Like, two people have done things different their whole life. They come into one. You have to compromise with everything, with how you fold the towels, with how you arrange things in the fridge, with what days you do laundry, how you
Britt?
handle your money.
I'm going to say this so we don't forget to come back to it. We need to talk about. I'm going to ask you a question about how you feel about a married couple having separate bank accounts and not joint bank accounts.
Okay.
We're going to come back to that. Okay.
That's fine.
Let me answer the question first to the first question.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Britt wholeheartedly, by the way. I think you should 100% go to the same church. I think that if one side is willing to compromise, like if the Baptist is willing to go to the Church of Christ, that's fine. You can make it work. Like, to me, I'm not mad at you if you're like, well, I was a Baptist, but, my husband was really devoted in the church at Church of Christ. And so I started going there. I think, okay, cool. Good for you. Like, once again, outside of a couple things, like they think you have to be baptized to be saved, and they really stand too much on legalism. Like, that's nothing that's going to keep them out of heaven. They may think it's going to keep other people out of heaven, but I don't believe it's going to keep them out of heaven. So, like, as long as you're going to church, doing what you should be doing, following the word, cool. I'm cool with it. So I agree with Britt. Britt, separate bank accounts. Me personally, just so you're not the bad guy here, you can speak your mind. I'll go first.
Okay.
I think it's weird. I do not think, as a couple, I don't think it's, and not everybody is religious, and I understand that. But for me, I think when God talks about a Christian marriage, I think if you are striving to have that, I think you should 100% have a joint bank account. Once again, that doesn't really matter. Like, that's not going to keep you in or out of heaven. That's just what I think. And then I just think it's odd. Like, if you're a marriage and you're like, hey, we're one, like we're together, we're unified in this, but then your money's your money and my money's my money, that doesn't make any sense. Like, to me, not even religion related, just logically thinking.
Yeah, because, the way I look at it, when you get married, when me and Grace get married, half of everything I have instantly becomes hers. That's the way I look at it. Now, I've actually been talking with some people about this because me and my fiance come from very different views on money. Like, if I have money and I want something and I've got enough money, I'm gonna
go
get
buy it.
I'm gonna go get it. Now, obviously, when you literally have another person that you're not responsible for, but that you're, I don't know, that you're in halvesies with,
You need to make decisions with.
you don't need to do. I don't need to do anything that goes against what my wife. Like, if my wife says I don't think we should get that, then okay, that's fine, and we can talk about it. But, like, also there's a trust. There needs to be trust involved. Like, as the man of the house, I would never do anything purposefully to put us in a bad shape financially. So to answer the question, I think you should have the same bank account but it's really tricky because if one spouse makes a lot more money than the other one, and in a perfect world, it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't think about it, but we don't live in a perfect world. So I could see that causing arguments like, you're spending all the money. I make way more money than you, and you're spending all this money. Like, I could see that argument happening. But
that's why a Christian marriage is the best one, because if you're truly in a Christian marriage, you wouldn't worry about that in the first place, for the record. But that's a side note. Not hating on Britt at all, but that's just a side note.
But it's something
this
that's
is a good time for Britt to tell you that him and Grace have separate bank accounts, and they will not be conjoining them. So therefore, I hate Britt Dillard.
That's not the case. That's not the case.
No, that is not true. I totally just made that up.
It is the case right now.
For the viewers. Yeah, obviously. But yeah, this episode has been not saying that it's over, but this episode so far has been quite wild. Different from normal. Not bad, just different.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Love Corner into a more into a darker place. Into a less.
The log off.
Let's just do it. Okay, so
log off.
This I'm not even gonna read the question. I'm just gonna kind of explain. So, like, imagine two people, they've known each other a long time, they get married. And
Okay.
both of them's fat. I'll just come out and say both of them's fat. They're big.
Okay.
One of them loses a bunch of weight. Is that not
Okay.
a sticky situation?
No, it 100% is.
Okay.
I feel like it probably would be. I mean,
Now let me take a step back. If you're married, it's not a sticky situation.
yeah, I agree.
You can't divorce your wife or your husband because they're fat and you're not.
No.
Like, that's crazy. And if you truly love that person enough to marry them, it doesn't matter. But like, if you're dating,
100%.
or and this might be crazy. This may be going down a spot that I don't want to get involved in. But say you're dating and your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend gets really big, and like, what then? Is that not kind of awkward?
Grace, if you're listening to this, Britt will still love you if you gain a lot of weight. I'm here to say that. I know he will.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's hard. He will still love you.
Oh, absolutely.
Now I have nothing to lose because I don't have a girlfriend, so I'm in the clear here. Let me just say this. So first of all, throughout time, this is where people get messed up. And like, if you're young, it will 100% matter. Like, yeah, like as much as I hate to say it, it 100% matters. Like when you're young, it matters. But like once you're together for somebody for like 10 to 12 years, like yeah, they've gained weight, but like it's not like a deciding factor anymore. I don't think.
Yeah,
unless
because
it's like
you're both going to get
a
old and
lot of
ugly,
weight.
anyways.
Yeah, unless it's a lot of weight. And that's the thing, is that's why when you date somebody, or when you're dating, hopefully you're dating to marry, you're not picking them because of their looks. Because let me tell you something, they're going to get old and they're not going to look like they once did. Simple.
Mhm.
They're not going to look as pretty as they did. They're not going to look, whatever you want to say. They're not going to look as good as they once,
Mhm.
as they once did. I almost quoted Toby Keith right there, unironically. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like how hard to say yes or no, because like once again, it just depends on how long you've been together, and and how much weight are we talking here? Like, were they both 400-pounders and they lost and one of them lost like 250 pounds? Then because like if one party's really trying to better themselves, like if they're doing this because they're like, hey, like we went to the doctor, we're not healthy, we have to do better to live longer so we can spend a better life together, and one side commits and one side doesn't, that is a sticky situation. Not if you're married, once again, and if you're dating, that is a sticky situation. But other than that, I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
The thought of it is kind of a weird thought. Like, if you don't stop eating so much, if you don't stop being such a fat lard, you're going to die, and you're not going to exist on this earth anymore. Is that not kind of crazy?
That is 100% crazy. But a conversation I'm sure a lot of doctors have daily. That literally, I mean, they don't say it like Britt just did, for sure, but they say it in a much nicer way. But they're like, hey, if you don't start eating more healthy, making the correct decisions, you're going to die. I mean, people do it all the time, every day with smoking cigarettes. They're like, hey, if you don't stop smoking cigarettes, you're going to die. Like, they just continue to do it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I went and ate. I guess, is the Love Corner over? Are we out?
Love Corner's over.
Okay. I was eating lunch today, and with two of my coworkers, we went and got sushi, and there was these two guys that walked in with us, like in front of us. I can't see that. Is that me? Oh yeah, it is me. Anyways, these two guys walked in, like,
popped up in my memories.
These two guys walked in with us at the restaurant, and one of them was older than the other one by like 5 or 6 years probably, and the other guy he looked like he was in high school, one of them, and the other one was maybe like our age or a little bit older. But they were talking. They were sitting right beside us, and they were talking so loud, so we could hear every word they were saying. And all three of us were eavesdropping into this conversation. And so basically, we determined that the older guy was like a youth pastor, and this was one of his students, and it was literally like a therapy session. And this guy was just dumping, I don't want to say trauma dumping because that's negative, but he was just like venting all this stuff to him about like his mom was like running around on his dad. And he was like, I love my mom so much, but like she's doing this to our family and all this stuff. And the youth pastor, or at least I think he goes, okay, he goes, let's start right here. He goes, I'm going to start with the gospel. And he literally starts from like the beginning. Like this kid did not know anything. Like it was like if you went to a foreign country to like an uncontacted tribe and was explaining Jesus to them. And so he like goes through everything. And then the kid was like, yeah, but he's like, I want to forgive my mom, but if she keeps doing this, why would I forgive her? He's like, that's probably the way Jesus is. Like, if I keep offending him, why would he forgive me? He's like, that has to be how Jesus is. And the guy was like, no, not at all. And I was just sitting there eating sushi. I was like, this is like awesome. I was like, this is really impactful. So I just wanted to share that with you. Because also it's crazy that a kid in Hendersonville, Tennessee has never heard about Jesus.
Yes. Also, though, that is very true. There's a song I actually listened to by Chris Renzema. I believe they say his last name. It's called Better. And it's like, God, I don't know how you're not sick of my constant apologies. And I love that part of the song. Absolutely love it. Like, love it. It's like so true. But he never is. That's the best part about our gracious God. Also, verse of the week. Verse of the week here, just so I don't forget it. Almost did. My favorite verse in all of the Bible. Britt, do you know what it is? By chance?
I don't think so.
Small chance here. I like how we changed the steeple. Listen. Galatians 2:20, Britt. Who trivia question here. Who wrote Galatians?
I'm gonna guess Paul.
That is correct. That is a really good guess, seeing how he wrote most of the New Testament.
Yeah.
2:20. Galatians 2:20 here. Absolutely amazing. Let me go to the NKJV here because I like the wording better.
That was a guess, by the way. I did not know that.
Let's see. Galatians 2:20. I've been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. In the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Does it get more beautiful than that right there? I mean, outside of words that Jesus spoke.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul was just cooking. I have been crucified. Oh. Woo! Paul, that man. Think about how bad of a person he was. Into just an absolute legend. Like, that is insane. Just shows how great God is. But Paul, shout out Paul. He was a dog.
Yeah. No, that's good. What was that? Galatians 2?
That was Galatians 2:20.
Okay.
I want to write that down for the youth group. Also, here's one more thing. I gave the youth group a challenge on Sunday to do something. Something that I have been doing in my life. I actually missed it this morning because I woke up late. And I missed it yesterday morning. I'm 2 for 4 on the week so far. So not doing too hot this week, but I missed one day last week. So it's been spotty for me. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I encourage everyone to do it. Wake up, turn on some Christian music. Wake up about 15 minutes before you usually do. Just 15 minutes. Turn on some Christian music. Put that phone upside down. Don't look at it. Pull your Bible out and just spend 10 to 15 minutes with God. It'll change your whole entire day. I encourage my youth group to do it. I've already gotten 2 positive texts about it this week. We're just on Wednesday here. There's nothing that makes my heart happy than hearing from the kids in the youth group texting me that somehow they got something out of what I taught, because I do not deserve any credit. Just shows once again how great God is. But I encourage you, wake up 10 to 15 minutes before you normally do. Spend that 15 minutes with God. It truly does. It changes your outlook on the day. It changes your mood for the day. You get through stressful situations better. In a time of day where you may normally snap or get upset or get frustrated, you just turn and you look to God And it's just, I don't know, that 15 minutes when you wake up has really changed almost my daily life. So I just encourage everyone to do that. Let me know. Text me, Snapchat me, shoot me a DM on Instagram if you don't have anything else, and I'll make sure to give you my contact info. And just let me know what it does for you.
No, that is good, because the first few minutes of the day really set the tone for everything else. Like, if you sleep in, but like
Terrible.
if you've got like 20 minutes to get out the door, oh my gosh, the day's over. The day's ruined. Or like if you get in traffic, like we both have a little commute to work. I mean, that time from when you wake up to when you walk in the door at work is like, it's important. And my dad said this the other day. He was like, we are waking up. He goes, the first thing you should think about is Jesus.
Right.
Even just, holy crap, I'm awake. Like a gasp, like Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, like I'm alive. That should be your first thought when you wake up, but so many times it's not. Your first thought is something that's bad.
Very
a lot
true.
of times.
The GOAT, one of the GOATs actually, Jordan Craighead, sent me this text this morning and said, if you drink water the way you read your Bible, would you have to go to the hospital to get an IV for dehydration? With some question marks after it. And that got me fired up. That literally got me fired up. I was like, are you kidding me? When I read it, I just started getting hyped. Like, I was automatic. Like, I was like, okay, let's get fired up right here. So think about that. If you drink water the way that you read your Bible, would you have to go to the hospital for dehydration? The answer, sadly, for most of you listening, is yes.
Yeah, I'm drinking Diet Mountain Dew, man.
And it would be true for me up until maybe 2 weeks ago. So not saying by any means have I done my job, because I haven't. It's just it was really, even for me, like, I've started reading my Bible more, and like today was one of the first days that I've turned on some different music outside of Christian music or outside of a sermon. And when I was listening to the songs, the very first song I turned on was a Morgan Wallen song, and I was like, man, I could be giving this time to God. It's just like, even when you go away from 10 minutes, you're like, man, this is 10 more minutes I could have gave to God. And he's worth it. I mean, it's that simple. I'm going to start preaching.
Yeah. No, I definitely fuel my mind with a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And Britt, by the way, did you watch that TikTok that I sent you about Platt? Oh, yeah, you did, because you texted me back. That was powerful right there.
Well, I was kind of confused. I couldn't really tell if they agreed or disagreed.
They disagreed. So, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there was one pastor. Pastor, I believe his last name is McDonald. He said he was trying to make the point that there was nothing wrong with how much money or what possessions a pastor had. And Platt was on the other side of, hey, there is a problem with it because your heart follows where your money goes. I don't want to quote the verse because I'll butcher it and I don't know it. But there's a verse that contains basically your heart follows your treasure. And Platt believes that that's kind of like your heart follows where your money's invested. And if you think about it in life, that makes a lot of sense. Like, me and Britt, we invest a lot of money into Vanderbilt and Tennessee Athletics. Like, we invest a lot of money. So, the losses mean they hurt worse, and the wins, they mean more because of how much time and effort and money we spend. Our heart follows it, right? Think about the other things. Think about vacation. You sink a ton of money into vacation. Not saying going on vacation is bad, but you sink a ton of money going to vacation. And you love vacation. Your heart follows it. You just can't wait for vacation. It's not just because you're getting off work. Don't get me wrong, that's a huge part of it. But your heart desires it because you're sinking so much time and money into it. How much time and money are you sinking into Jesus? Do you have a boldness to seek him? Because I can tell you, I really haven't.
Yeah.
Like, throughout my life, I haven't.
Yeah. And Grace, there's been a few times that she's been like, well, you're not going to have those tickets forever, are you? Or like, what are you going to do when every Saturday if we have kids? And I said, I will be a Tennessee football fan the way I am right now until I take my last breath.
Yep.
And they in that TikTok they talked about the rich young ruler, a guy that was just really wealthy, and he asked Jesus how to get into heaven. And Jesus was like, just sell everything you have and follow me. And then it was like he walked away sad because he had a lot of stuff. And that's where his heart was. He didn't want to get rid of his stuff.
Yep. He had all of his heart, followed his money. All of his money was sunk into all of his possessions. So sad. So sad. Wealth, the perception that we have of wealth is so deceiving. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I had a coworker today who's not. He has a girlfriend, but he was talking to one of our married coworkers who's our age, and he was like, "If somebody gave you $2 million right now," and this is crazy. This is a crazy thing to ask a coworker. He's like, "If somebody gave you $2 million right now, would you divorce your wife?" And he was like, "No." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Then I'm just gonna be lonely, and I'm just gonna be rich and sad, like Post Malone in that one song." Yeah, like if you've got money, then you don't have anything to look forward to.
Facts. If you have a large,
you have no reason to work. You have nothing to work towards.
Nope. You already have everything. Everything's at your fingertips.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a blessing to be able to provide for your family for generations, like generational wealth. Like that's awesome.
Right.
I'm not saying that I would turn down generational wealth for my descendants, but I'm just saying I could be making a lot more money doing something else. Or, not a lot more, but I could make more money somewhere else. I realize that.
Right.
But I love what I do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Total dub.
Yeah.
Agree with Britt.
Yeah, we really have been everywhere.
We've been everywhere, but we filled them up the last about 15 minutes with the Holy Spirit. So I say we end it here. I mean, no better way to end it than with Jesus. That is how it ultimately is all going to end. So what better way to end this podcast? Episode number, what was it, Brett? 110?
116.
116. I am 6 episodes behind. That's crazy.
Shut up, Lecrae.
Romans 1:16. See it tatted on their wrist. Also, Lecrae verse right here, just because we talked about it early. Don't need no prenup. It's you I love and not the money. Going back to the joint bank accounts, I should have quoted him earlier. Anyways, anchor down. Pick up your cross daily and follow him.
Amen. Amen. Go Vols.